They say friends are the family you choose. But what if the family you chose is secretly using you? Think about that one friend who only shows up when they need something. They don't call to check on you. They don't ask how you're doing. They only ask for favors. And when you hesitate, suddenly you're the bad friend. It feels like loyalty, but really, it's manipulation in disguise. We like to believe friendship is always built on trust and love, but sometimes it's built on control. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. You give and give and give until you're left drained, wondering what went wrong. But here's the truth. Being used isn't friendship, it's exploitation. And today, we're going to uncover the psychology of when friends use you. Friendship is supposed to be a safe space, a bond where you can laugh, cry, and lean on each other without fear. But sometimes, the very people we trust the most turn out to be the ones quietly taking advantage of us. It doesn't happen overnight. It starts small. Maybe they ask for a little help with homework, money for lunch, or just a ride home. You agree because that's what friends do, right? But then it becomes a pattern. Suddenly, you're the one always sacrificing your time, your energy, your peace, while they walk away satisfied. The balance shifts and you don't even notice. Because manipulation doesn't look like manipulation when it's wrapped in the language of friendship. Phrases like, "You're my only real friend," or "If you don't help me, who will?" sound sweet on the surface, but underneath, they're designed to trap you. The truth is, emotional manipulation thrives in relationships where trust is high and defenses are low. And in friendships, our defenses are almost always low. We let our guard down. We believe the best in people. We convince ourselves that giving more makes us a better friend. But deep down, something feels off. You just don't want to admit it. That uneasy feeling you've been ignoring, that's your mind trying to warn you. They say actions speak louder than words. And in friendships, this couldn't be more true. The first red flag is when the friendship feels one-sided. You're always the listener, the helper, the supporter, while your needs are brushed aside. You share your struggles, and they nod half-heartedly before steering the conversation back to themselves. It's not care, it's convenient. Another sign is guilt tripping. They'll say things like, "If you were really my friend, you'd do this for me." That sentence alone is a psychological trap, because instead of respecting your boundaries, they weaponize your loyalty. They turn kindness into a weakness, something they can exploit whenever they want. And then there's emotional blackmail. They might threaten to distance themselves, or worse, act cold and silent until you give in. You're left with anxiety, wondering if you did something wrong. But you didn't. This is just control disguised as disappointment. Healthy friends don't punish you for saying no. Now, let's look at why people manipulate in the first place. At its core, manipulation is about power. Some friends don't feel secure unless they're in control. Others are deeply insecure, and using you makes them feel important. And some, they're just selfish. Your time, energy, and loyalty are tools in their toolbox. Psychology shows us that manipulators often target people who are empathetic. If you're someone who struggles to say no, you're more likely to attract these so-called friends. Because in their mind, you're easy. Not weak, not foolish, just easy to use. And the more you give, the more they take. Let me share a quick story. Imagine Sarah, a college student. Her best friend, Emily, always asked her for help with assignments. At first, Sarah didn't mind. It felt good to support a friend. But soon, Emily expected her to finish entire projects. Whenever Sarah hesitated, Emily would say, "You're smarter than me. I'd fail without you." Sarah felt trapped between being a good friend and protecting her own time. In reality, Emily wasn't helpless. She was manipulative. And Sarah realized too late that the friendship had become a cycle of use and guilt. This is exactly how manipulators work. They use sympathy as a weapon. They create a sense of debt, like you owe them loyalty because of the bond you share. But real friends don't put you in debt. They give freely, and they respect when you can't. Another tactic is a small favor trap. It starts with something minor, borrowing notes, asking for a ride, needing a quick loan. You agree because it feels harmless, but those small favors slowly stack into bigger requests. Before you know it, you're babysitting their problems, sacrificing your own priorities. This isn't support, it's exploitation. And then there's the victim card. Manipulators love to play the role of the helpless, misunderstood soul. They'll make you believe you're the only person who truly understands them. That way, you feel guilty walking away, even when you're drained. But here's the harsh truth. Their struggles don't justify using you. Some manipulators even twist your kindness into a tool against you. If you ever try to set boundaries, they'll remind you of everything you've already done. Remember when you helped me last time? You didn't have a problem then. That line is designed to trap you in your own generosity. They rewrite history to make you question yourself. The worst part? Manipulation often looks like love. It looks like closeness, like friendship, like trust. But deep inside, it feels wrong. That heaviness in your chest, that constant fatigue. It's your subconscious telling you something's not right. Friendship shouldn't feel like a burden. It should feel like a balance. And if you keep ignoring these red flags, the cycle continues. You give, they take. You bend, they push. And eventually you break, left wondering if you were ever truly valued. So, how do you protect yourself from manipulation in friendships? The answer begins with one powerful word: boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They're doors. They don't shut people out. They simply decide who's allowed to walk in and on what terms. The first step is learning to say no without apology. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your time and energy. A true friend will understand when you can't help. A manipulative one will make you feel guilty. And that's your clue. Pay attention to how someone reacts when you set limits. Do they respect it? Or do they push harder? That reaction tells you everything you need to know about the friendship. Next, recognize your own worth. You are not valuable because of what you can do for others. You are valuable because of who you are. If someone only sticks around when you're useful, they're not a friend. They're a user. Another strategy is to flip the pattern. Instead of always giving, start observing. Does this person ever check in when you're struggling? Do they ever show up for you without expecting something in return? If the answer is no, then the friendship is already unbalanced. It also helps to communicate openly. Sometimes, people don't realize they're crossing a line. A simple conversation like, "I feel drained when I'm always helping, but I don't feel the same support back," can reveal the truth. If they care, they'll adjust. If they don't, they'll dismiss you. And that's your sign to walk away. Most importantly, stop confusing sacrifice with love. Love doesn't demand constant sacrifice. Friendship doesn't require self-destruction. The right people will never make you choose between your peace and their approval. And remember, letting go of manipulative friends is not cruelty. It's self-respect. You are not abandoning them. You are choosing yourself. Sometimes the bravest thing you could do is step back and say, "This isn't healthy for me anymore." Healing begins when you realize you deserve reciprocity. Not perfection, not constant attention, but balance. A friendship where giving and receiving feels natural, not forced. That's the kind of connection that nourishes you instead of draining you. So set boundaries, speak your truth, and don't be afraid to walk away when a friendship feels more like a cage than a comfort. Because at the end of the day, saving yourself is not selfish. It's survival. At the end of the day, friendship should never feel like a transaction. It should be about laughter, trust, and support, not constant sacrifice. If someone only values you for what you provide, then they don't value you. And that realization, as painful as it is, can set you free. The truth is, we teach people how to treat us. Every time you accept manipulation, you silently agree to it. But every time you stand firm, you remind the world that your kindness has limits. And those limits are what protect your peace. Real friends will never make you question your worth. They'll celebrate your yes and respect your no. They'll stand by you even when you have nothing to give. That's the difference between being loved and being used. So take a moment and reflect. Who in your life truly shows up for you? And who only shows up when they need something? The answers to those questions might change the way you see your circle. If this video opened your eyes, don't stop here. There are countless other manipulation tactics hiding in everyday relationships. And the more you understand them, the harder it becomes for anyone to control you. So, share your story in the comments. Tell us about a time when you realized a friend was actually using you. Your experience might just help someone else break free. And if you want to keep learning the hidden psychology of manipulation, subscribe right now, because the next video might reveal the exact trick someone is already using on you.